let's just say that Czech people have a really special way of starting wars. Hello, my name is Zairi, and I think the title of today's video is saying all that needs to be said. Now, normally how would you start a war? With a conflict? Do you want to attack someone that has something you really want? Or maybe a good old assassination? No. These are all nothing compared to the beauty of defenestration. There are long descriptions on what defenestration is, but let's just give it a quick rundown. A tutorial, if you will. First of all, you will need a window, preferable somewhere really high up, and the more windows the merrier. Then you will need a person you want to throw out of the said window/windows. Usually it is a politician or just someone you don't really agree with. And then there is an optional spice up. You can have some sort of spikes under the windows as a little surprise tool that may help us later. So you have the person you dislike, you may need some friends to make this process easier, and you throw them out of said window. If you prepared some spikes underneath, even better! Now there is a bigger chance for bloodshed. And that's it, your own DIY defenestration. It's so easy anyone can do it. But you may be thinking, how the hell do you start a war by doing this? So let's just take it from the beginning, shall we? There were 3 Prague defenestrations in total. Some people don't count the middle one, so it is possible that you may have seen the number 2 going around more, but for the sake of it, let's mention all 3. In this video, we will take a look at the OG window throwing, so the first one. The first Prague defenestration happened in the year 1419. Now, this date is dangerously close to a really important one in the history of the Czech nation, and that is 1415. To be precise, 6th July of 1415. That's the day when a kind of an important guy named Jan Hus was burned at the stake. Now, Jan Hus had a lot of great thoughts. He wasn't happy with the state of the church and the whole deal of people paying for having their sins removed or some smaller tiny things, like he hated people burning books. He also wished to write the Bible in easier language so even the peasants could read it for themselves and then preach to others. All in all, it's easy to realize that he was not the biggest fan of the church that was leading the country. And somehow a lot of people resonated with that. Which obviously made the church angry. All of a sudden, there was this person who was gathering a lot of followers and he was telling them on how corrupted you as a church are. That's not really a good PR. So they invited him to defend himself and his opinions in front of them. But instead of that, they called him a heretic and burned him at the stake. The church at the time didn't know what they just unleashed with this tiny misstep. Now, I am extremely simplifying this, but just know that there was a lot of pressure between the church and the no-called Hussites, the people who accepted Jan Hus's teachings. There was a lot of bickering after Jan Hus's death happening at all time, with both Hussites and the church breaking the rules they put between each other. Like, constantly. The church generally tried their best to shut up the Hussites, but the problem with them was they just kept growing. Another issue arose when the Hussites got only 4 churches where they could preach and accept communion under both kinds, which is where you both eat the body and drink the blood of Christ, so you eat the little cracker and drink the wine. So this was a really big deal for them, and with their numbers, let's just say 4 churches were not enough. Then the King Wenceslas IV was confronted by the Hussites. They demanded that the situation should be brought back to how it was before the year 1419, when the biggest amount of prohibitions against them was introduced. But instead of that, Wenceslas fully exchanged all the people serving in the city council for those who were loyal to him and the church. And shortly after that, the council started imprisoning a lot of Hussites. And they have had enough. On Sunday, 30th of July, it is said that the people already arrived fully armed for the sermon in one of the churches. After it was done, their goal was to occupy the church of St. Stephen, which used to belong to them before 1419. And they were successful. After such a success, their sights went towards the town hall. There was spikes and spear ready under the windows. The council had no chance without the king's army arriving, and the army apparently ran away when they saw the sheer amounts of Hussites around. So, the council got thrown out of the windows right on the trap laying underneath. 11 people in total. When the king died not long after, which was most likely a coincidence, probably an illness, the Czech nation found themselves without a king. I mean, Sikmund signed up for it and he had the right, but most of the people just didn't accept him, and that's how the age of Hussite wars started. The age that brought us the biggest Czech banger in history, Kdož sú boží bojovníci. But that's for another time. And that's all for today. I hope you liked it and await 2 more videos on the remaining window thrownouts. So please subscribe if you enjoyed it, it really helps me a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!